Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Immersive Web Adventures. My name is Felix, and I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Vila Bolender.
Hey everybody, we are building Immersive Web App today live and are trying to do this in under 1 hour. And this is our first take. And what are we building today, Felix?
Oh, yeah. So before we hop on a call, we kind of landed in the general vicinity of a foosball / table soccer kind of experience. So we'll just run with that. What do you think?
Sounds cool. And I think we already have a ChatGPT live chat. So we are not only using AI to build it, but we are also using AI to come up with the spec.md. I think let's tell the AI that we are building a foosball game, right?
Yes, and for folks who are not familiar, the reason why we're doing this before we start the build is that we find that having a general game design and maybe even a spec to tell you all about the interactions that we're going to have in this as a starting point for the agent to build actually yields much better results. So if you're not doing that, I would highly recommend you doing that. Okay.
Yeah. I think the question is more like, do we want it like real looking, or just like crazy arcade and like federated physics? And I think trying to be as real as the real experience would be kind of cool. But I also understand why an arcade mode would feel pretty cool. I'm not sure. What do you think?
I think we can try to go for the real more realistic physics, I guess. I don't know
Yeah.
what exactly meant by exaggerated physics, so let's just go with
Yeah,
let's
maybe
go
just like
with
stronger, like the
real.
the ball just flies through everything. But I think I would also say like not trying to be as realistic in terms of meshes and everything. So it's still like
That makes sense.
renderable on the headset, right?
Yeah, so real only applies to the physics and game mechanics, not the actual renderable meshes. Should we take a quick look on this? Grab style, direct grab rods with hands, most immersive. Magnetic snap, with hands get close, more forgiving. You know what? What do you think? I think direct grab rods with
Yeah.
hands or controllers, I guess, in
I
this
mean,
case, is
like
pretty
from
good.
my mind, it also maps better to IW SDK. Like that's something. I mean, I think that's a side information we should give everybody. We are doing this with the Immersive Web SDK, which ChatGPT already knows, but we didn't tell everybody. I think that's because this is very much doable with it, and I think there is already a grab capability. I'm not sure if there's a snapping grab capability.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the snapping is technically needed. I think
Yeah,
just the grab is probably okay. Let's
yeah,
let's just do with that.
I think so too.
So
By the way, at the end of it, there are some questions that the AI left for us. I think it's also a cool thing to do in general. Ask AI to make questions for you.
that's a good point.
There are some ideas of this grill me a skill from Matt Pocock, which is really insane. So the general idea is like the AI need context to give us great output. So just let it ask the missing context, and it will fill everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I was just reading the questions, right? I think like there is one nugget of wisdom or a trick I figured out for building
yeah,
these kind of experiences when
let's
the
hear
AI
it.
asks you single player versus multiplayer, because if you think about it, this is kind of a like the interaction isn't the simplest thing, right? Like because you gotta have to grab it and twist it, and it is kind of hard for the agent to be doing that in real time, like emulating, although we have the emulation capability. So it asked us whether we should have a single player versus multiplayer. Um, we want to have a single player, but at the same time, since it's already building out an AI to play the game, it would be actually way better if we ask the agent to hook up both sides with the AI so that he can
Mm.
test things end to end directly without even going through the emulation. And then so like this is a big loop versus small loop problem, right? So because if we can the big loop is kind of close, but if we contain the loop to make it small and then we can later solve the interaction problem separately, this will actually accelerate the agent building for the small loop problem.
Yeah.
So let's try that. Single player
Yeah.
first, and
I
please.
think it's also cool, the idea that if you have an experience where you already have an AI, like an adversarial enemy that you play against, and because we're building a single player, we need this. It's a really cool idea to just hook up the AI to both sides and let it autoplay. I'm very excited to see if this actually works.
For question number 3, do you have an opinion? Full spinning, maybe? Just I don't know.
I mean, I think this is a physical question, right? If you rotate the handle and then leave it, what happens to the thing, like to the rod? Should it continue spinning or should it not? I think the physical, if it's physically modeled accurately, it should continue spinning. Um,
I
I
think I think um yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if that is going to be a little bit too complicated for it. So I would
Yeah,
be inclined just to say to leave it
yeah,
where it is, and then I mean,
yeah,
like when we're playing, we'd be grabbing both at the same time, I suppose.
yeah.
So,
I
but I
think
don't know if that's what this question is about.
it's my interpretation. We can, like, that's also something, like, if there's a question, you can just re-ask the AI, right? But I think in this case, like, just leaving it at a simpler point, because we have our rule to be done in under 1 hour. So our goal is to build these immersive web games in under 1 hour, to make it um, to make the whole show not too long.
Yep.
And we also have some things to do, right?
Yes. Next I draft spectrum D around that with what do you think? Is this good enough? Should we tighten up anything
Yeah.
else? I guess that's pretty much it, right? I think if you
Something that
Mhm.
I didn't saw is like that it says optional AI opponent. Oh, okay, it was the idea that you can select the side, I think.
Oh, where is it? I mean, you can type in here too, right? I mean, this is the group chat.
Yeah,
We're
that's
trying
true.
this out for the
I,
first time. Yeah, try it. I
yeah,
mean, like, I don't know if
yeah.
it works.
Um,
Oh yeah, nice. I can see you typing. Very cool.
oh, that's cool. Do you see what I type?
I do not. Um,
Okay, I wrote something. Let's see if it's. Yeah,
Write the
okay.
final draft,
It,
including AI enemies and support for adding to both sides.
it's
Yeah,
not
I
the
think that was
cleanest. Yeah,
already here, right? Semi-skilled, attachable to either side for testing.
yeah. Yeah, I was just confused because it was saying earlier it is optional, but maybe is already fixed. I mean, if you're saying something to AI that is already the case, it won't do. Probably won't change anything. But yeah, if you have the time, read everything carefully. But I think this looks already pretty good.
Okay, are we gonna bother reading all of it, or are we just gonna run with it?
Yeah, I think we run with it, and then if
Yeah,
shit
tell you
goes
what. Why don't you take a
sideways.
look at this, and I'll get the app
Yeah,
started, and
that
yeah, let's
sounds
do
like a cool idea. Yeah, we are two people, so we can parallelize, if that's the correct English term.
Yeah, I guess that is. It sounds a little bit like we can't move, but like, okay. Um,
Oh, that's true. Maybe
sounds
I
good.
switch to
Okay.
things up.
For folks who don't know, getting started with IWS DK development is super easy. We have a create CLI that can bootstrap the app for you in no time. So what you got to do is run npx at iwsdk/create, and that is pretty much it. And we just launched version 0.4.0 today, so there's a lot more for you to look forward to. Foosball. Clock code. We're going to use clock code today, so let's just do that. And TypeScript, enable XR support, yes. What type of XR experience are you building? Virtual reality for now. Hand tracking optional, layer optional. Locomotion, I don't think we need locomotion, right? Because this is just you're standing still to play that thing in front of you. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It should be positioning the player directly where they are.
Grabbing, yes, we definitely need grabbing because that's going to be used for one of our core interactions.
Yeah.
Physics simulation, also
Yes.
yes. Skip for now. Git repository, yes, please. Install dependencies now, yes. Okay. So what do you think? Is it pretty much good? The
Yeah.
spec?
From
Does it
everything
need
I can
more?
see, like it talks about the game loop. Um, it something that might be missing would be probably I didn't see anything about like showing the amount of goals that are currently there. So like a UI that is
That's right.
placed on top.
Do you
That
mind
might be
just
missing.
optimizing that a little bit while I spin up the dev server and all of that?
Yeah. Okay. It's under stretch goals. I think
I mean, it shouldn't be
yeah.
stretch goals. I think you should be the
Yeah.
one of the main goals. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
please optimize that a little bit. So if you take a look at this, we have successfully bootstrapped our app, and there are a few next steps. It has all of the commands here already. I can break it down a little bit for you. So essentially, what the two things that we need to run is going to be npx iwsdk reference warmup. What does this do? Well, for iwsdk in the AI tools category, we have 5 pillars of tools, but we're not going to go into all of that right now. One of the things that is really, really cool is this thing called IWSDK-reference. What it is essentially a smart API and code samples lookup tool for the agent powered by retrieval augmented generation. And we've ingested the entire source code of IWSDK along alongside typing for all of the dependencies of IWSDK, for example, 3JS, for example, LX, which is the ECS implementation. So the agent is able to very easily look up any knowledge it needs to build the application, and it will know more than about IWSD than anybody in the world. And the retrieval augmented generation thing makes it so that the agent doesn't need to traverse mountains of typing declaration files to save its own context. So let's do that. So we need to first cd into Foosball, and then we'll run this. It should take about a second to do.
But by the way, I would also love to know what other things are in 0.40.
Yeah, I think we'll have time to talk about that. Let's get the thing going first. So right now, pretty much we're ready. So I would actually switch to VS Code for now. Um, this is
Yeah,
how
and I
I
updated the draft, so you can just copy it in.
very, very good. So let's just open that thing first. Project. I have a million projects over here. I use DK apps. Foosball. Open. Cool. And yeah, so here we are. You have updated the thing. I can see that. Let me make this window a little bit zoomed in so we can all see well together.
Sounds good.
Um, and where is that spec? This is this it or
It should be the last message in the chat, and you should be able to expand it.
hey, how do I even copy that?
I think at the bottom there's a copy.
I don't
Oh wait.
see it. That's weird. Can you put it in a MD file as a downloadable artifact?
Do everything for me now.
Yes. And before we do anything else, I also think it would be kind of cool that yeah, so this is a necessary step that we need to take for this is we need to set up a few hooks so that we can okay, I'm just gonna YOLO this thing. Dangerously skip permissions. Not recommended for everybody, but if you know what you're doing. Um, Okay, so I have a skill to init. So we need a couple of hooks set up so that we can record the entire conversation. You don't need to do that for building stuff you're on your own. So we'll just run this.
So
Is this
just to
part?
explain, like in IWSDK Adventures, the goal is also to transparently submit all the logs of the AI so that everybody can see like there was no cheating. This was done in one session from start to finish.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. So if you go into any of our, so IWSDK Adventures.dev, if you want to go into any of these, for example, target practice, and the whole thing is that we're showing this 100% transparently that you can do all of this within the time that we promised, and you can replicate this exactly using the the conversation that we have here. So for example, you were seeing like execute spec.md for you to move. Yeah, so we have the entirety of the conversation here. If you're interested, take a look. But also, it would be very, very interesting if you can point your agent to the lessons tab. And this is a distilled lesson that with code pointers to the specific transcript so that your agent can learn more about what went wrong, what should be done in a particular situation. Cool. Yeah, let's go back here. I think it's ready. Um,
I also really liked about that transcript is that you have images in there,
yes.
right? So you can actually see what the agent tried out. It's pretty like we all love visuals, right? And we are working in an area with 3D where we can see, so we don't have to just look at the code. We can actually look how it progresses.
Yeah, so
It's really
that
cool.
what happened essentially is that we are forcing the we have a stop hook implemented, I think, and also like a post tool use hook implemented in here somewhere. Maybe not. I don't know. But oh yes, because I think like we'll go into this in a little bit. But like one of the tools that IWSDK have for runtime is that um, it will allow the agent to take screenshots of what's happening in the test app, and it will basically be saved to disk. And our stop hook implementation basically extract that and place it back into the conversation so you have context on what's happening at what point of time. Okay, sounds good. I think we have everything ready. And we can try something. Oh, yeah, so things are already written. Very nice. So what we need to do next is essentially, I think we can, is that good to go? I think pretty much, right? So
Did you already download the
I
spec?
have not, but let me clean up the journal thing first, and let's go and download that spec. Is, is this, wait, it's still, I
I mean, now it's you can copy it on the top right, I think.
Yeah, but then you see, like, that's a thing. That's a frustrating thing because it's not complete. See, like, there is a side controller thing in the middle. You see that? Oh, let me switch that particular thing. Yeah, this
Okay,
is
yeah.
OpenAI, please
And
fix this. This is yeah, it's broken, right? It's
oh,
kind of weird.
Yeah, that's true.
That's okay.
Okay.
We can stitch it
Hit
together.
escape, so you need to just copy
Yes.
in both.
New file
Yeah.
.md. And what do we need to do? Let me switch back
Yeah.
over here. So what we need to do is,
I guess this is an interpretation problem, not a
mhm.
agent problem.
Is this basically essentially what we have here is to point this over here and then
Yeah. Yeah.
do you think that's how it is? Or is this like actually wrapped?
I mean, I would
Is
remove the
this
white
wrapped
space,
in
but
something, do you think? Or no?
I
Yeah, you know
mean,
what? It's probably okay.
the formatting is
It's probably okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I can.
At least all the information are there, right?
Okay, so let's start this again. Claude dangerously skip permissions. And so at this point, I mean, like you can have the agent do this, but I always like to just start the dev server myself. So I have control over everything and I can terminate it when I want to. And yeah, so let's check on our MCP setup. We have HDDB, which is the tool for debugging with a headset. We're not going to need this for this time. IWC reference is the thing that we warmed up just now. IWC runtime are tools that we will dive into in a bit as we will see this in action. And we're pretty much all good to go. So let's kick off the build. Execute
Sounds good.
spec.md. Feel free to disregard all the existing environment. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not the thing. We need to enable plan mode first. At least I always like to do
Okay, so you want to do okay. I mean, I heard multiple people say they don't like plan mode anymore. But I mean, let's see what Claude
yeah, and
comes up
also
with as a plan.
we can try it next time without plan mode to see how it works. And feel free.
Yeah, I mean, since we already have a spec, the context should be there. But maybe the plan will more focus on the execution rather than what should be done.
Existing environment in the scene. See, that's where I disagree with you. I feel like we have a spec, but the spec is like very high level, right? Like it
Yeah,
only have it only tells you what the experience is supposed to be, what kind of game mechanics there are. It doesn't actually delve into the details such as like what particular component or system you should be using and all of that. And this is kind of what I'm hoping that the agent will do
yeah,
in the
I
planning mode.
understand.
But again,
Yeah, so it's basically
yeah,
like
go ahead.
yeah, it's basically like this is now like the idea of the game, and now we're talking more about technical stuff. Because now the agent also has the ability to use the tool, search through implementation, and actually like say, okay, we're building this, but with this technology, we're using this component for it.
Exactly, exactly. Um, yeah, and then it loaded up the planner skill. So this is something I feel like this is kind of inconsistent because in the IWSDK planner skill, which if you don't know, like this comes with the new app. We have code reviewer agent instruction, and we have a bunch of skills, and there is a planner skill in there that basically tells you all of the basic knowledge of IWSDK. So this sets the agent up for success because it knows what everything is, and you know, go in with the knowledge of an expert, right? So
So would you recommend this for everything so that you start with a spec that doesn't have the context of the project, that talks about only the idea, what you're building, and then in the next step, you're using plan mode with the IW SDK skills. Would you recommend this for everything, or is this something we only do
I
for
do this for
this
everything.
game?
I honestly I don't have a
Okay.
spec.md for everything. I usually use a spec.md to kickstart the experience. Um, you know what? Actually, if
Yeah.
I'm building my own stuff, I maybe don't use something like spec.md, but I'll have like a huge block of text to describe my information. The reason we have spec.md here
I mean, it's just
is
a
that
name.
we want the audience
Yeah.
to also have a taste of success, right? Like, so they could easily grab. So by the way, like this all will be open source, and you can grab the spec.md as well, and so you can just run the thing. The same command and reproduce this yourself. Like, so that's why we wanted to put it into a spec.md. But I would 100% recommend plan mode for everything. Although I think Bila has some different ideas. Maybe we'll try it next time. But I've always had a pretty good experience with this.
I mean, no. My question was just like, I do use plan mode all the time because um I I heard the thesis on Twitter that people say they don't like plan mode. They prefer using like having the AI build prototypes where the prototype is the plan, which I think is a really cool idea, but maybe not yet for the VR space, because like in the web space, like when we're using React, and the AI knows already so much about React. But in this case, I think it's different because the AI needs to, like, if it builds a prototype, um, this is almost 90% already solved all problems. Um, so I personally I totally agree with you. I just asked you questions so that like I just wanted to know if this is something we would recommend everybody, and maybe this is like a core learning part of the first session, um, that Phoenix recommends for IWS SDK. Always, like, this is a good step by step instruction to, yeah, set you up for success, like you said.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's my opinion, and we can try something else next time too. Um.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things I wanted to, while it's planning all of this, right? I think so one of there are two things I want to call out. So sometimes I don't see this happen very consistently, but sometimes when it does these kind of explore agents, it yeah, it's already having everything I need. So I sometimes like to give it a nudge to use the IWSDK reference tool to look up things better, but it's
Hmm.
completely fine because like it will actually do that in the implementation stage, so it doesn't really matter that much at this point. But since it's already got everything it needs, I don't need to do that. One thing I wanted to cover really quickly is in v.config.ts we have this is the plugin that we have that basically spins up the browser and then expose that to the agent so agent can interact with it. And we have a lot more options, but this is there are a lot of defaults. And agent is the mode. The agent mode is also the default. What it means is that it will actually spin up the browser in the headless mode, so you don't see it at all. Like it doesn't interact your workflow. I find this to be best for longer running tasks where you don't want to accidentally use a you know, like a playwright managed browser that it doesn't have all of the features, and also you can put another window on top of the debug window so that the agent like the tools will hang. But for this particular purpose I'd like to actually we have three modes. So agent is the first mode. We have oversight as well, which is basically you can watch what the agent is doing in the window, or you can
Hmm.
have collaborate mode, which not only you can watch, but also it injects the IWER, like Immersive Web Emulation Runtime dev UI, so that you can do things with the agent. Like for example, like some very difficult interaction stuff. The agent isn't
Hmm.
able to, right? You can go in there, tweak a few things, and ask the agent to remember, hey, what I did, and you know, you can turn it into a skill, or just for this session, you can help out the agent. So for this, we are going to use oversight for
Hmm.
now, I think.
So this
Uh,
means, just to wrap up, like just to summarize, this will spawn the window so that we can see what the agent is doing.
Correct.
Okay.
So let me switch over here. Oh, actually, I need to change this. How do I replace that with a screen share of the new window? And so we see this. Yeah, so this is the starter application. There is, we have a few things in here. Actually, now that I didn't spawn this with the collaborate mode, I can actually go in there and show you what exactly it is. Maybe we will try that. But yeah, it seems to have already the plan here. So let's take a look at that, and we can get things going.
Nice.
Do you usually read the whole plan?
Do
I
you?
find.
I can't see the plan, by the way. You need to share the plan.
Oh, yes, sorry.
We want to be delighted. How what they
Okay, let
wrote.
me close this down
Can
and
you? Do you have like a beautiful mode so that we don't like there?
whoa, what's a beautiful mode? I don't
I
have that.
just rendered Markdown because it's raw Markdown. I tend to prefer. I mean, oh, it's already okay. So it's not. It's just monospace font. Okay, I understand.
Okay. This is a scaffold plus okay. It's just basic understanding of what it is. Came from, oh, it did use this. Very cool. I didn't know that. So I think the subagents actually did use this. No joins
Okay.
constraining BSDK physics. Under the hood, but only bought physics body, blah, blah. Okay, that's a constraint. One hand grabbable clamps are axis aligned and per axis in local base.
Okay.
Arbitrary axis not suitable for proper foosball rod feel. We'll write a custom grab system. That's
Okay.
fair. What would it take to have? Doesn't wait. Does that not have a clamp is per axis line, per axis in local space, not arbitrary access?
But I mean, we can make the football field axis aligned, right? So that
Yeah, exactly.
we don't need arbitrary access.
So I think we can challenge this point for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to explain this, the goal of foosball, of course, you have the rods and you need to rotate them, and the eye is basically saying, I can't access constraint this to an arbitrary x, but that would mean that the football field is arbitrarily rotated. But if we can constrain the football field to be axis aligned, then this problem goes away. So I think it's a yeah, I mean,
Can you type
it
that
would be
out and send
interesting.
it to me in private chat so that like I'll keep reading on this
Sure,
and so we can
sure,
just
sure.
direct
Makes
that
sense.
in the
Yeah.
collision events. No trigger gliders. Goal detection must be an ABB check against ball position in a system. Yeah, so I wanted to call on this is currently a gap area in IWSDK. They're working on it, so we will have this soon. No CCD exposed. Mitigate tunneling with a moderately large ball, capped rod. I mean, this is also one of the things. I don't feel like the balls are going to be like super fast. So we'll see how that works without CCD. World anchored panel UI. Omit screen space, just updated text. I also want to challenge number 6 because I feel like it would be cool to. I mean, like for folks who don't know, screen space essentially is a thing that allows the 3D UI panel to show up on the screen as well. That will look like a 2D UI, like exactly like this. So this is a 3D space UI. So if you click on Enter X, I don't know if I can. I cannot click. So never mind. Yeah, so we do need this. Oh, you have that already.
So you're saying that because you want the experience to be playable in 2D?
No, I just I want the thing to have a. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. I wanted the entry point on that's on 2D. So I wanted to maybe an enter XR button, and
Okay,
I
but
feel
then
like we could
yeah.
reuse this panel for both the scoring and also enter XR and exit to browser.
Do you think I think it would be more confusing, right? Because like these are two things to build. Like it's the score panel and the enter panel. I think it would be easier to tell the AI build an additional enter panel, like that is already in the experience. I don't know.
Sure,
I mean,
let's do that. Yeah.
yeah.
Architecture table. I think these are probably okay. So let me just like these are the details. So let's just reject this plan with what you said. Make the football field axis line so we can use the rod rotation.
Do you agree with my comment? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Also, make two UI panels. Preserve one with screen space so that we can use that to enter, exit, BR. The other one to be the scoreboard. That should be placed. I mean, where does a scoreboard live? I feel like maybe it's just on
On
top
top.
of the thing.
Yeah. By the way, we can, while the AI is building stuff, we can ask it to use your plan or to maybe use the spec file and use GPT image 2 to like generate how this will look. This would be kind of cool.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Make a football field line, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, by the way, so I don't like we might continue to build this in the future, but for today, we're probably not going to use a real asset, so we're just going to do procedurally generated asset for now, right?
Yeah, and procedurally generated in this case means the AI will just pick up some simple meshes, shapes, and place them together, like you most likely already seen on Twitter when you see some vibe coded stuff. The AI really likes to just place blocks on top of each other and then call this a human. And I think for this use case, it's pretty much good. Like the foosball fields I saw in my time, they are pretty much just like blocks and spheres stacked on top of each other, and it's good. So I think it's a perfect use case for this.
Sounds good. Should
By the
we?
way, you might want to switch the scene.
Oh yes. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I will
First time,
always notify you.
everybody. Sorry, everybody. This is first time, so you can clearly tell this is first time. But should we be switching back to the ChatGPT thing so that we can do some renders?
Yeah, I mean that would be. I do have some questions beforehand.
Oh, okay, sure. Let's do that.
So, and I think that the previous scene was actually like I wanted to ask you could maybe explain me and the audience like what the difference is between the IWSDK reference thing, and you mentioned that you like to hint it that you should use the reference part, and what would be the difference to just an AI agent? Like maybe I think it would just use the skills to plan and to understand IWSDK, and what is the difference when it uses the reference?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's actually in conflict with using the skills. The skills are basically, okay, really, Bila, I know you know, but like for folks who are not super familiar with all of this skills, agent instructions, and like MCP and all of that, here's how I think about this, right? So if you are, think about your clock code, for example, as a chef, then the skills are essentially the recipe. Like it tells the chef what exactly, like what are the steps to do a particular dish. And MCP or other tools, I mean, like MCP or CLI or other forms, these are just tools, or they are essentially, you can think of them as
A
like
knife.
ovens or mixers or
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so in this case, in a lot of my skills, I'm actually saying, "Hey, chef, you should use this particular tool." Let's see. I mean, I'm like the reference tool. I would say it's just a microwave wave of sorts, right? Like you use that
Yeah.
tool to do a particular thing. So we actually instruct the agent to use these kind of MCP tools in the skills. And what exactly does the tool do is essentially is just a very smart search engine that like uses a small transformer model to, like, when we did this, we ingested everything, all of the source code using a small transformer model so that it can be easily searched through vectors. And essentially, when we're building, when the agent is actually interacting with this, it's just asking simple questions, and it will use that same transform model to find the best matches and surface the result to you.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people might know this under the retrieval augmented generate pattern. So RAG would be the thing that you're using.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Should we accept, or should we? I think we're pretty good to go. I
It regenerated the plan. I was thinking it would already start, but it regenerated the plan, right?
Yes, yes, because we rejected it the first time, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah, I'm lazy person, so like we can also just have it built and then we can correct stuff. So
Yes.
let's
Yes.
cool.
I think
And
it
while it's
from what I read, it looks good. The other question I wanted, because I want to circle back, is what's new in IWSDK 0.4.0?
yes, what's new? Well, I there is a lot of things that's new in this. I think, for example, I actually can't get everything off the top of my head, so I'll just tell you a little bit about
Sure.
the key things that I remember. First of
Too
all,
much.
I think we surfaced. This is the first like official build that after release after what we did at GDC. So at GDC we had all of these MCP tools, like the first version of it, out. So pretty much everything we've been using up to this point so far. And so in 0.4.0, we have a bunch of bug fixes, and one very important thing is that we actually converted all of these tools to be surfaced through CLI as well. And this is important. How? Because I was looking into a lot of the cloud-based harnesses. We're talking about Manas, we're talking about Replit, we're talking about a bunch of other things, right? So when like and these tools, I know a lot of them actually have support for MCP, but it's kind of a crappy experience in my mind, like to have to manually set up this thing in the convoluted settings page and all of that. So it's not it's not the easiest experience. So but CLI is a very universal thing. Like it doesn't care about which directory you start the harness at. Right, you can, as long as you cd into that directory, you have access to the CLI tools. So that is very important. And to take it one step further, I think what we did is we also modified the setting of the Playwright managed browser to spin up a headless Chromium version that uses Swift shader as the rendering backend. So because a lot of these cloud based harnesses doesn't have GPU attached to them, so you have to have
Yeah.
CPU like rendering. And so that's like it wasn't. That's not to say like the agents are very clever these days. You spin this up on the cloud and it will say, hey, we don't have a GPU, and it will fix it for you, but this will just do it automatically for that.
Yeah.
Another key update is that we enabled the non-XR build path in this particular mode. It's a very, very early stage, but essentially you can use a lot of the AI tools that we already have to build, not just for WebXR, but just for like 3D experiences on 2D browser surfaces as well. And I feel like, guys, a little quick side tangent here. The reason I'm doing this is because I feel like when a lot of people when they I mean XR is still the core goal. I really love XR. I think this is a really cool way that people can interact with virtual worlds and all of that. That's way in a way richer format than on a 2D screen. But when we're talking about like converting a particular experience into a web XR experience, or just an XR experience in general, especially in the later stage, right? On paper it's easy, right? 3js have support for WebXR stuff, and so on paper it's easy. But in reality, especially when you have an experience that has very complicated camera controls and all of that, it's hard to do that conversion late stage, because you
Yeah.
don't have the player rig that's imposed by XR. You have to have like a logo space. You have to have a camera that's parented under that, so that when you can handle locomotion and all different kinds of interactions well. And a lot of the times when you build something with an unopinionated framework, you don't have that. So it's a lot of work at the end to convert to XR. But
Yeah.
with our non-XR build path, you still keep that. And there is agent instructions that tell the agent, hey, if you're using this, for example, for a first person experience, you can use the exact same setup, right? Like you use the local space with the camera, and then you just move the whole thing and use kind of a gimbal setup for stuff, for camera control and all of that. But then if you're building this for a third person, or maybe you're looking down on a tabletop kind of experience, I mean, like we tell the agent to, hey, just keep the player space at origin and to like pilot the camera around as usual. So essentially, what I'm saying is that with all of these instructions, the agent will build experience, preserving the compatibility to turn to XR later. And I think it's an interesting experiment. I don't know how it's going to work out. I think there are still some gaps we need to fill before we can say, hey, this is actually a really, really good experience that you can use to build like 3D experience on the 2D web. But I'm very confident we will get there.
Nice. I think so. First of all, I think that's a cool idea to test. And next time, maybe we do a 2D experience.
Yeah.
We always want to challenge ourselves, right? But I also want to say, I think it's the idea is similar to when websites became mobile websites, right? When we started to build mobile first, and for me, it seems IWSDK is XR first framework that also solves 2D experiences, and I think it's crucial to do this. And I just wrote down to do a TLDR. That means like 0.4.0 is like focusing on out of the box support for MCP, so it's just easier to get started with it with IWSDK and with the AI tools, and also simpler to use it in different contexts like 2D. I think I'm looking forward to trying that out, to build a 2D experience with it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have a couple of ideas. So for folks who wanted to see that, please tune in for the next episodes.
Nice. Some side marketing. Also, I think it would be a general thing to call out is like you're looking for feedback, right? So if people start building with following this guide on building with IWSDK for AI in general, but also people start using the 2D experience path of IWSDK and have some problems like like need support for something else, it's always a good idea to reach out.
100%. Bila, I think you mentioned that you might want to switch back to ChatGPT to generate some images so that we can guide the visual a little bit. Do you want to do that?
Yeah. I mean, it's just an experiment, but I always find it really cool, and especially with GPT Image 2, I have found the results just stunning. Maybe just I can just write down generate screenshot. I mean, what do you typically type? Do you say it's a screenshot of WebEx of a first person person
There's a
XR?
concept visual. I would just say that, like, generate some concept visuals for this experience. I don't know, like whatever you're thinking. I'm not sure whether this will work in group chat settings. I hope it will.
Yeah, I mean, let's assume OpenAI builds this fully. Okay, I tried to mangle all both because I have the feeling if we don't say it's XR, it will not create the image from the first person, but I might be wrong.
Let's see.
But yeah, I think that's a general idea that can, like, because we in this session we talked so much about okay, we have a plan and we read like 10% of it, and it goes a little bit in this prototype direction where instead of like reading everything, just have it give you an image, and at least you can verify some visual aspects of it, which is, I think, a a cool thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, I think this is a really interesting thing to call out, right? Because
Yeah.
so oh, actually we have some stuff happening over here, but I wanted to finish my thought first. So
Yeah.
like the reason
Yes.
I make it to do plan mode every time is really not. I mean, like I read it sometimes, but I'm a pretty lazy person. I don't read it all the time, but I just feel like it's a really good way to force the agent to do homework and build up its own understanding of it.
Mm.
That's really why I use plan mode a lot, and that's also why a lot of the times when I start with a new project or something like that, I ask a probing question to the agent, say, "Hey, what do you know about this thing?" And so it will kick off a job to actually read everything and then to build up its own understanding, to build up initial context, so they will perform more
Yeah.
efficiently, effectively for the session to come. Um, Obviously, I think it would be great to read the plans, but this is how I like to how I like to do it. What about
Yeah.
you, Bill? Do you read the plans always?
Yeah. Um. It's. I think I. Hmm. What I really like about the process of planning is the AI asking me questions, and I think this. I'm not sure since I'm using Codex. I'm not 100% sure it's the same for Cloud Code using the CLI, but I think it is, right. So I think because you're asking to plan, you're forcing it to fill all the gaps, and by filling the gaps, you need to ask and answer some questions. So I think I'm in a similar
Bill,
boat,
I have to
right?
stop you for a
Um,
second. I think something interesting just
sure.
happened, so let's take a look. Yes, let's switch.
I mean, that's the cool part about this format,
Yes.
right? Since like we are not 100% in control. Okay, this is really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah,
I don't know if we. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So, like, by the way, like, here's the part. Like, whenever something starts to happen in the thing, that's when I start paying attention, and then I would like steer and course correct this whole thing. Like, just starting to do that. Um, what do you think about simplifying the experience so that we only have two two rods per person. So we have like move. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Maybe not. I don't. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, from a UX, are you saying this from a UX perspective, or you're saying this from a simplicity of testing perspective?
I think for both. Actually,
Yeah,
you know what? It doesn't. I feel like it doesn't really matter that much from a testing perspective, since testing is gonna be a
yeah,
pretty. I mean, like if we can get two rods to work, then four rods probably also work. Which is
yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that's a moot point, I suppose. Um,
But I think, yeah. So if I play this thing, I mean, in a multi-user experience where it's like 4 people, it would be super cool. I really love this like collaborative setting, playing a game collaboratively with your friends. But since we most likely,
oh,
it
it
started
started
it started
working.
doing something. Did you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. Okay, but it's
Okay,
not in the.
maybe explain some
Yeah, so
context.
the agent actually, because of the IWSA runtime tools, I think this is actually a good time for us to cover what's in the runtime tools. There are actually four pillars of
Yeah.
tools that's available. So one of them is going to be the Axor emulation tools. That's exactly what you saw happening just now. Actually, we can probably.
Oh, it
Oh,
just
you
moved the
did?
player. It just dragged the rod. Yeah, it dragged the rod. I
Oh my
saw it.
God. So yeah, so one of them is the XR emulation. So like exactly what it's doing is like piloting. Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw
Now
that.
it's
Oh
rotating.
man, it's good. It's cool. So yeah, so that's exactly what you're seeing is that it's using the controller to grab and rotate things. XR emulation tool, very, very key concept. Another pillar of this is going to be the scene tool. So let's actually open this up to see if we can see a bunch of these. Oh, it's actually, oh, see, like you use the grab skill, which is great, fantastic. Do we have more actually?
Can you switch the scene to the so we can see the CLI?
CLI, sorry, what?
I mean, you mentioned you saw that it uses the tools,
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you're
the
talking about.
MCP tools.
So I was trying to expand this. Usually it does work. Let me see. Where is how do I show the terminal? Just like folded. Just create a new terminal, and it will show up here. So it's kind of hard to parse, but yeah, it's kind of hard to parse. But I'll break it down. So basically, the things that with the thing we just saw is going to be the emulation tools. We also have scene tools, which basically allow the agent to peek into the scene and understand what's the scene graph essentially, and to be able to get transform information for all of the objects in the scene. And then we have browser tools that's basically taking screenshots so agent can see, and also reading console logs. That's three, right? What is the last one? The last one is going to be ECS tools. So for folks who don't know, IWSDK is the lifecycle of IWSDK is completely managed by the ECS implementation. This means the agent using the ECS tools can actually stop execution completely, step forward frame by frame or multiple frames at a time, do diffs for the entity states so that can compare like data changes over however many frames, and it's very very useful for for debugging continuous interactions as well as yeah, continuous interactions and behaviors. And for example, like physics would be a really, really good one. I'm going to nudge it to do that at some point. But first of all, I think it's struggling with something. So should we? I can't see obviously. So can you point the camera lower so we can see the foosball on table and the rod clearly? The rods you are grabbing clearly.
Would also love to know what's like. Can you what do you think it's currently struggling with, and
I
what
think
are
it
like?
says the A rod hasn't moved. Physics keeps reverting any direct transform right. So I will. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. See, like it's already.
You see it now.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just said like you can now see it. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
By the way, if you just want to switch to ChatGPT, like later
Yes.
on. Oh, it created Go. It
It
just scored a
did?
Go.
Oh, I missed it. I always miss
Yeah.
the important parts. Okay. Oh, I mean, it's on camera, so I
You
can
can watch the
rewatch later.
recording later.
Should
Yes.
we switch to ChatGPT real quick, or?
Yeah. I just wanted to showcase you. It show a really fun thing that showcases. Like I told it, like foosball is played from the side, so you want a side perspective, and it regenerated the image, kind of correctly, but also very
Yeah,
incorrectly,
yeah. Okay, but this is cool.
which is
This
very
is kind of
funny.
cool. Yeah.
But it picked up on the shading that is typically that like you would expect, like low poly shading from a XR application. And I would also say like I really like the score UI. Like this is a good reference.
Yeah, and then, I mean, like it kind of like the UI kind of like built very similarly as our actual app, right?
That's true. Yeah, I mean you don't have a lot of variation to expect, right?
That's
But it's true. Like I think it's a good um
Do you think we should
yeah
drop this in?
goal to shoot for this image.
Do you think we should drop the oh, by the way, it just said it's already built everything and all of that. I don't know if I trust it, but we can see, right?
The interesting part for me, if I look from this perspective, is that the rods, I don't know where they anchor to. I'm not where the like. Maybe it's a perspective problem. Maybe the rods sit on top of it.
Oh yeah,
Would be cool to control it,
yes.
right? But I think, like from my side, like the question is, does the AI already like is the AI implemented? I don't see any behavior of the opponent.
They should be playing each other. Let's see.
Yeah, but I think this could all like it would be fun. Actually, yeah, exactly. Maybe for the next time we actually hook up your stream of the quest and then finally have like a really cool playthrough.
I mean, I can show this, and we'll do this. Sure. Can you see this?
Nice.
Very
Yes, I
nice.
can see it.
Oh
That's
wait, let
really
me
cool.
get into there.
Yeah, I will be the foosball commentator.
Nice.
Oh no, he hit the ball. That's a goal.
Enter XR. Wait, what happened? Oh, it was making
I
some
mean,
changes.
yeah, because live
What's
building
happening?
stuff. This will be
Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah.
totally
Is
live.
it done doing stuff?
So we need to yeah. I mean that's a I mean just to explain everybody like because Veed is
Oh,
reloading the page every time there are some
hey, this is
changes.
working.
Holy shit! This
Where's the ball?
can you tell where the
I think
ball
the ball
is?
is here. Oh, now
Okay, and can you move?
I
Oh,
can
okay,
move.
okay.
I
This
don't know
is
if
okay.
it's
So the
like
side.
complete. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't go all the way to my
Yeah,
end.
yeah. So the limits should be dependent on the amount of um, football players at each rod,
I think
right?
it's actually working. I think it's actually working. There's some stuff that needs work, obviously, but so first of all, how do I even? I
Yeah,
think there's an invisible panel here too, which is the thing.
yeah.
So this is cool. How do I? Oh, froze headlocked. I think it's because it refreshed my page.
It's reloading. Yeah.
Yeah,
So for context, because it's reloading and that crashes the WebXR
yeah.
experience,
Okay, let's try this.
and it's reloading because the AI is currently still building it because it's probably just currently building the AI opponent feature.
Let's try this again one last time. Okay, you know what? I feel like we could do the other thing. Oh, goal! Oh, nice! Oh shit! Okay.
Oh, holy shit.
Wait.
That's super
Okay, so
insane.
it needs a reset ball thing, I think, right? Or actually, no. Oh, whoops,
That's
I
also
just
true. Yeah.
poked my screen. Hopefully, didn't break it. But yeah, this is cool. This is cool. I love it. Let me stop testing.
Yeah. So it just so to summarize, like it just needs the opponent feature and the limits need to be better and probably a reset so that ball needs to be replaced. Which is actually like if you played foosball, like this is the case. Like if the ball gets stuck and you cannot move the table as much as you need, so that the ball gets unstuck, you can take the ball and replace it in the center. So I think this is these are like just three things.
Yes. Okay. I think another something is happening. So let's screen share this and let's go to that particular window. I think it's over here. Share. Okay. So some things are,
Okay, so we have an opponent.
yeah, I don't know what it's doing, but it's it's trying to do something, I think.
The crazy opponent, probably.
Okay, restarted. I think so maybe the AI is a little bit too complicated for it to master. I don't know if this is like how you would actually structure this. Clearly active rods are rotating various positions. Let me check the score and watch a bit. Yeah, but we need the AI, no? We
Mm.
do need the AI to make this a fun experience and all that. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably also because it's so related to the physics, right? Like the placement of the player, if the rods are too far away. But I do think if you let the AI cook for more, it can figure it out itself because this is a closed loop. Like we have there's feedback. Um, Currently, it actually looks like it's rotating in the wrong direction. Like it tries to reach the ball, but it rotates away from it. So it looks like some normal computational problem for me.
Yeah, totally. So I
Yeah.
also have a bunch of feedback. But do you think we should call it today? You know, like this. I feel like we've reached a pretty interesting milestone. Or do you think we should
Yeah.
keep on building
Yeah.
for a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. yeah, maybe next time we have some assets and maybe some environment, or we might also go like do something more even crazier. But I think it was really cool to see like you playing this, like scoring it, and I think this was one shot, right?
I mean, let's
Okay,
do some
wait,
stuff.
holy shit.
Okay, it's a little bit
Okay,
crazy.
don't call it a day yet.
Yeah, it needs a little bit work.
I mean, it's stuck.
I
So,
see.
by the way, it would also like if I would reset itself, like if the game would reset itself once the ball gets
Yeah.
stuck and you cannot reach it, if it can figure it out, like if it's stuck for like 15 seconds, it just resets itself. I think that would also be a cool feature.
That's true, but isn't it like in the actual thing, like there should never be such a situation where the ball gets stuck because you should be able to reach the ball with one of the rods regardless of where the ball is, right? That's what is that what it is?
I mean, typical foosball fields, like tables, they have these like the field is not always plain in the
Oh.
corners. They have corners that give the ball back to the game. If you build this into the game, sure, but currently the ball could get stuck in the
Yeah,
corner.
that's true. That's true. Okay, okay. We have some ideas for next time, and yeah, I all things considered, I think this is a very successful first time.
Yeah, I definitely was impressed. Like seeing it one-shotting this visually, and then you having fun in it, like
That's
immediately being
yeah.
able to enter it. I think with a couple of more minutes, um, this will be like totally playable and submittable. I had fun, like very cool. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you for being here. And I do feel like this is a really cool experience, and I think I'm gonna polish up the AI a little bit. Obviously, all of the transcript and everything will still be included in all of that. But we'll come in next time with some better assets, and yeah, we'll make this a very nice thing, and we'll publish it somewhere for folks to enjoy. Hey, maybe we can do a multiplayer thing too. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be,
Let's do
yeah.
that.
I would love to
Yeah, let's
join.
do that.
Love to play
Yeah, let's
against
use
you.
Pure.js and
Awesome.
then we can play on the air real time. That would be really cool.
That would be cool. Okay, I think hopefully everybody had fun watching, and I would say see you
See you
next
next
time.
time, man. I know I had fun. So fun. Cool. All right.
Perfect. See
Good
you.
info.